So far, you have identified three structural components that form the foundation of your school counseling program. Your belief statements, summarizing what you believe all students deserve from a counseling program, a vision for your school counseling program, identifying what you want for your students, and a mission that briefly summarizes, in a nutshell, what the school counseling program does. The next step in constructing your foundations document is to list the services provided by the school counseling program. This list of services expands on your school counseling program's mission statements to more specifically explain what school counselors at your school do day to day. Start by clicking on the pencil icon in step 9, and you will see a list of school counseling program services that the ASCA National Model identifies for school counseling programs. School counselors offer three essential services according to the ASCA National Model. The first is direct services, those activities where counselors are working directly with students, whether individually, in a small group, or in a large group, or classroom presentation. ASCA further breaks down direct services into instruction or teaching, counseling, and advisement or appraisal. We've added the word scheduling to this list because it's a key service provided to students in most high schools and some middle schools. If the wording is awkward and you want to change it to fit your counseling program, just do it, unless you're going for the RAMP award, which requires you to use these specific categories and terms. We've also provided short descriptions of each of these services so others can understand what each category means. Feel free to edit these too, to language you feel best describes what you do. Indirect services are those activities that are not face-to-face with students, but still student-focused. These activities include consultation, collaboration, and referrals, according to ASCA. Again, the focus is still tightly focused on students, but the work is not necessarily being done with students in the room. You might be conferring with a colleague or a mental health agency about a student need, or facilitating a teacher-parent conference. Once again, if you're not going for RAMP, feel free to edit these terms or their one-sentence explanations to whatever works best for you. Here's an important point. ASCA recommends that school counselors spend 80% or more of their time in a combination of direct and indirect services to students. This is an easy figure for counselors and administrators and others to remember, and for many programs, a good goal to aspire toward. It's also a good percentage to use in discussions with your counseling program advisory councils, if you have them. You can say something like, our program aspires to reach the national recommendation for quality school counseling programs, which is that 80% or more of our time is focused on direct or indirect services to students. It's a hard goal to argue with. It's an important figure to remember for conversations about how to increase your impact on student success. The third category of services, according to ASCA, is program planning and school support. These are the behind-the-scenes tasks that are broader in nature. They're not necessarily focused on specific students, but they are still focused on the school counseling program's goals, such as collecting and analyzing student data, setting up a career fair, creating the monthly parent newsletter, etc. If you find it difficult to discern which tasks go into which of these three categories or the subcategories, well, you're not alone. Just do your best. There is no right or wrong to this step. In reality, you may spend a considerable amount of time on tasks that don't fit into any of these categories. These are non-counseling or non-program tasks, and it's intentional that we don't list them as a category of services that counselors should provide. But we will account for them later on when you start gathering actual time use data, and when you have discussions about how you can spend more time in the three services that truly focus on the school counseling program's goals. For now, we encourage you to either adopt this list of counseling program services as is, or edit the list of services in a way that you feel makes the most sense to explain what you do. We do encourage you to at least keep the broader categories of direct, indirect, and program planning services, since those categories will be referred to in other steps of this process. For now, all you need to do is accept or edit this list, and then you can check off this step.